2026 is shaping up to be a pivotal year for Egypt's military-industrial development, particularly with the unveiling of its new domestically developed missile launcher platform. This platform, revealed earlier this year at the Egyptian Defense Expo, signals a shift not just in regional defense capabilities, but also in Egypt's strategic posture and industrial ambition. But before we get into the missile launcher itself, let's look at the broader context. Egypt has, for decades, balanced between Western and Eastern military suppliers, acquiring arms from the United States, Russia, France, and even China. However, in recent years, Cairo has accelerated its push toward military self-reliance. What started as simple assembly of imported equipment has evolved into licensed production, and now, we're seeing fully indigenous systems designed, developed, and manufactured in Egypt. The 2026 missile launcher is at the forefront of that shift. Codenamed RAD-3, the platform is a multi-launch rocket system with modular architecture. Early specifications suggest it supports a range of warheads from short-range guided rockets with 40-kilometer effective range to larger, precision-strike ballistic missiles capable of reaching targets up to 300 kilometers away. The design reflects inspiration from both Western MLRS systems and Eastern rocket artillery doctrines, but the execution is uniquely Egyptian. What makes the RAD-3 so interesting isn't just its range or payload. It's the integration with modern command and control systems, a rare feat for domestically produced systems in the region. According to a Ministry of Military Production briefing, the RAD-3 is network-enabled, can be remotely deployed via encrypted drone reconnaissance, and features automatic reload systems. It also integrates AI-assisted fire control, which is said to reduce launch reaction time by over 30% compared to previous systems. While the specifics are tightly controlled, satellite imagery and leaked photos from the testing grounds near the Matru military zone show a mobile 8x8 platform possibly derived from a locally modified version of the Kamat's heavy tactical truck. That implies high mobility, even in desert environments. The production of this launcher was reportedly conducted in cooperation with Egyptian military factories and local research institutions. There are unconfirmed reports that Egyptian engineers trained with South African and Turkish defense experts during the RD phase. Some experts believe the RAD-3's guidance system may borrow heavily from Turkish rocket technologies, but these claims remain speculative. What's confirmed is this: Egypt now has a scalable, locally built missile platform that enhances both defensive and offensive capabilities, particularly in desert warfare scenarios. And there's a political layer to this as well. The unveiling of the RAD-3 comes at a time when Egypt is facing renewed regional tensions. The Libyan border remains a concern, tensions in the Red Sea persist, and the Nile River basin remains a geopolitical hotspot due to ongoing disagreements over water resources with Ethiopia. The message from Egypt's military command is clear: this launcher is both a deterrent and a symbol of sovereignty. But defense isn't the only arena where Egypt is flexing its industrial muscles. On the civilian side, Egypt's automotive industry is undergoing a quiet but ambitious transformation, and our channel has been closely following it. In the last 12 months, the Egyptian government has doubled down on the transition plan, and now, for the first time, we're seeing the first prototypes of the locally produced electric sedan Nasr 70 roll off the line. This has been developed by El Nasr Automotive, Egypt's state-owned manufacturer revived from the 1960s, in collaboration with Chinese auto giant Dongfeng. The E70 was initially planned for release in 2023, but pandemic-related delays and chip shortages pushed it back. Now, the car is entering its final test phase, with on-road trials taking place across multiple cities, including Alexandria and Cairo. our team was granted access to a behind-the-scenes look at the Nasri 70 development facility. The prototype we saw had a 61.3 kWh battery pack, offering a range of about 400 km per charge, with fast charging capabilities that could recharge the battery to 80% in just 40 minutes. That puts it in direct competition with mid-range EVs from China and Europe. But what really impressed us was the local content. Nearly 45% of the vehicle's components are produced in Egypt. Everything from the interior trim, wiring harnesses, infotainment units, and even some elements of the drivetrain are sourced domestically. The target is to raise that to 60% by 2027. This is part of Egypt's broader strategy to become a manufacturing hub not just for domestic consumption, but for export across Africa and the Middle East. And if the Nasri 70 succeeds, we could see more models including SUVs and commercial vans roll out of the same production lines. Now, let's talk about what this all means together: the military and the automotive threads. At first glance, a missile launcher and an electric car have little in common. But both tell the same story. Egypt is shifting from a consumer to a producer, from dependency to innovation. Both platforms rely heavily on domestic R&D, both are being developed with dual goals: economic empowerment and geopolitical leverage, and both are placing Egypt on the map as a country capable of more than assembly lines. What's especially interesting is the crossover of talent. Some of the engineers working on the AI systems for the Rad 3 reportedly came from Egypt's growing software sector, which has also been involved in the infotainment and smart features of the E70. Universities like Cairo University and Ain Shams are building multidisciplinary teams to support both military and civilian innovation. Meanwhile, Egypt's Ministry of Military Production has signed several memorandums of understanding with civilian tech startups to share expertise in machine learning, robotics, and battery technologies. This convergence mirrors what we've seen in countries like South Korea and Israel, where dual-use technologies create a cycle of innovation. And while Egypt's EV scene is still nascent, it's rapidly expanding. The government has announced incentives, including tax breaks and infrastructure support. Over 3,000 charging stations are being planned for construction by the end of 2026. Additionally, a new battery recycling plant is under development in Suez, promising a closed-loop supply chain for rare minerals. That brings us back to the bigger picture. The 2026 missile launcher and the new generation of electric cars are not isolated stories. They are part of a broader national strategy that prioritizes industrialization, sovereignty, and innovation. And it's not just for prestige. These projects create jobs, attract foreign investment, and reduce dependence on imports. Egypt is betting big on its engineers, its factories, and its people. Still, challenges remain. For the Rad 3, the key question is real-world performance. It's one thing to display a platform at a military expo, it's another to see how it performs under operational conditions, with electronic warfare interference and desert climate stress. The regional arms race means Egypt will have to continuously innovate to keep pace with advancements from Iran, Turkey, Israel, and the Gulf states. As for the Nasri 70, public adoption is the next major hurdle. Charging infrastructure remains uneven, and affordability is still a concern for many Egyptians. Unless the government subsidizes EVs or offers trade-in programs, adoption could remain confined to upper-middle-class consumers and fleet operators. But the momentum is there. And if the current trajectory holds, Egypt could become the North African leader in both defense manufacturing and green mobility within the next 5 years. So whether you're watching because you're interested in rockets or road trips, one thing is clear: Egypt in 2026 is redefining what it means to build for the future. Stay tuned to the channel for more deep dives into defense innovation, electric vehicles, and the stories shaping technology in the Middle East and Africa. Don't forget to check out our full walkthrough of the Nasri 70 prototype and our analysis of regional missile launcher capabilities in our upcoming episodes. And if you're as fascinated as we are by the intersection of engineering, policy, and design, make sure you subscribe, because there's a lot more coming.